So I had the recording about when I took my son to Nigeria. So look for that video if you did not hear about it, so you can start the story from the beginning. So we got the list of things needed for the school, and it was the evening before we were to drop him off at school in Nigeria. So I told him, I say, you know, you are going to school tomorrow. We are dropping you off at school tomorrow. So I need you to get all your things together so that you do not forget anything important. That was when it really got to him, because when we were talking about it, when we went to see the owner of the school, when he went to do the exams for the class placement, and when we went buying the things needed for the school, I don't think he really got it. I don't think it really got to him. But that evening before we were dropping him at the school, it really got to him, and he really broke down and started crying like, I don't want to go to school here, I want to go back to America. And I reminded him, remember the letter that Daddy said you should wait for him? We're going to wait. You're going to wait for Daddy until he comes to Nigeria. He said, I can stay in the house and wait. I said, no, you cannot stay in the house and wait, because everybody will be gone. People go to work, others will go to school. You will not be in the house by yourself waiting for Daddy. Because seriously, we didn't know how long it will be before Daddy comes to Nigeria. So he needed to be in the school. Anyway, I gave him my Bible. I say, you remember, I always pray when I get to this kind of situation that I don't know what to do. And I've always told you, God is always there. Whether mommy is there or not, whether daddy is there or not, God will always be there. And I had given them this book to read, Gifted Hands. And how, what was the name of that?
Ben Carson.
Ben Carson's book. So they read Ben Carson's book about how he got strength by reading the Bible and praying and letting God take care of whatever his problem was. So I gave him the Bible. I said, I always tell you to read the Bible and depend on the Bible. So here, take this Bible. You can cry, you can scream, you can pray, but take the Bible and depend on God right now, this evening. So I gave him the Bible. I left him in the room. I closed the door and he sat there with the Bible. He cried, he prayed until he felt better. Then he came out. So the next day was a Sunday and we went to church. In the evening, we needed to go and drop him. So we all got in the car and we drove to school to drop him. We got to school and they introduced him to some boys who took him to the boys' dormitory. After some time, he came back. He was in the school uniform because they don't allow street clothes. So right away, he got into school with the school uniform. So he came back out with the boys and they checked the items we had bought. And it was time for us to leave. We were heading to the car. I walked quickly back to the car. I didn't want to start crying in the school. So I walked to the car. My sister followed and we were going to the car with my daughter. And here he comes. Here comes my son walking towards us, towards the car. And I saw the vice principal following him, like walking right behind him. And as he was getting really close to the car, the vice principal held his hand and turned him around and walked him back to the school, and he started crying. Of course, I stayed in the car really trying to control myself from bursting out in tears. So we left. We said goodbye to him and we left. I had told him to make a lot of friends. So we went back to my sister's place. And it was the hardest thing for all of us. And I got the numbers from the teachers, and when we got home, I started calling to find out how he was doing. The first day was like, he's really by himself. He doesn't want to talk to people. I called the second day. Yeah, he still doesn't want to talk to people. So we still had about 4 days before we traveled back to the US. And we needed to drop off some other things that we forgot on the list. The required things for him to have in school. So we went back, I think it was a Thursday, we went back to drop the things for him. So that day they had sports. We went there and here was my son, Michael. He was playing. he had a bunch of friends. They were playing soccer and running around. He seemed to adjust a little bit. So at least that gave me some comfort before we traveled back the following day to the US. And I kept calling the teacher, the housemaster, because I got his number. I kept calling him every other day to fill in, to let me know how Michael was adjusting. And I spoke with Michael too. So yeah, it was tough. It's the hardest thing to do, but when you get to a place where you really need to help out your child, do it, whatever it takes, because down the road they will be grateful that you helped them. So he made some friends. I had promised him every holiday I will come, because while he's in the boarding school, I don't need to be around. I can only go to the school so often. So I said when it is holiday, I will come. And the following holiday was Easter holiday. I kept my promise. I traveled to Nigeria and we spent the holiday together. And I could see he was really adjusting. They were really big on taking notes. So they taught him how to take notes, how to follow through, and he was really staying on task. I could see he was going to be okay. And God answers prayers. Remember, you must always pray. You must always hand it over to the Lord. And he's able to do more than you can do. He knows us better. He knows what we need. He knows how to get the help to us. And this story is going to have a happy ending. I hope you stick around for the next video. I will come back, I promise.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe.